Welcome back to Brick by Brick. Today we're going to be doing a prediction. In this case, it's going to be a presidential one of J.D. Vance versus Governor Newsom. So Vance is currently obviously the vice president. Gavin Newsom is the governor of California. They've both been in the news as the most likely frontrunners. Things definitely could change. We've still got quite a while before the 2028 election. But for now, I'm going to start with a classification and a prediction for that election with those two candidates in mind. We will give Ohio to the Republicans. So in general, we have a few swing states here. Harris was able to win New Hampshire, so we'll add that characterization. And then we will add a little more nuance here to the chart, and we will start on the west and then just move eastward. So in Nevada, Trump was able to win Nevada, but I do think that possibly relative geographical location, proximity to California, and I do think, and Trump has been pretty unfavorable so far on the economy, so I'm going to give that one to Newsom. I do think it might be a slightly different story. I think Trump performed best in Arizona of the swing states that in the 2024 election, so I've got a good feeling, unless this trend continues of unpopular ratings for Trump, but if the election were to be held today, I think that Arizona would probably stay in the Republican column. And then we just saw in the Wisconsin Supreme Court race, there was also a few other races, or one other race in that state, that the Democratic favored candidate was able to win both of those. So I'm going to give that as a tilt blue. And then we'll get to Georgia. I think Georgia and North Carolina are going to be interesting. I think I'll classify North Carolina first. It has not voted for Democrats since, I believe, 2008, so it would be a bit of a stretch to see that one going to the Democrat. It's possible if trends continue, but for now, we're going to give it as a tilt Republican rating. We also will characterize Maine. That will probably be tilt Republican, and then the second district here in Nebraska will probably end up being in the Democratic column. So that is one more vote for Governor Newsom. Currently, that brings us to 242 to 246, with the Republican J.D. Vance leading the pack so far, but we still have yet to characterize the rest of these states. So I do think Georgia is probably going to be one of the closer states of the election. I do think that the Rust Belt will most likely vote together. I could be wrong. It's certainly a possibility things break up, but just with the overperformance of the Democrats in Wisconsin, I'm just using that as an indicator that the Rust Belt is probably going to favor the Democrats at this point in time. And we're going to characterize those three as all tilt blue. That gives Governor Newsom 276 Electoral College votes, so enough to win the presidency. And then Georgia is going to be interesting. If I were to call it today, Trump did pretty well in the state in 2024, so there's probably some backslide towards the Democrats, but at this point, I don't think it's enough to keep the Republican from winning the state. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions about my prediction. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.